Hello, my fellow skateboarders, longboarders, and freelance skaters. This is Krishan Srinivasan, a fine art photographer who loves to skate. So, today we are going to talk about the wheels of the longboards and skateboards. Mostly, we will be talking about the longboard wheels, and the skateboard wheels differ from longboard wheels from a very small factor like the hardness and the size. So if we take a look at the longboard wheels, that will be more enough to study or learn about the skateboard wheels. And before we get into this topic, I would like to warn you and say, like, if you happen to hear any of the environmental noise, kindly forgive me. I'm recording this in the evening, like 4:20 p.m. or something. So hope you guys bear with me and forgive me. So let's get into the topic right away. So what we are looking here right now is, like, as usual, I have already opened the necessary browser tabs here for you to explain, to switch over from one topic to the another. And we are looking right away into the longboard wheels here. So these are the proper parts of the longboard wheel, and usually longboard will contain or any sort of wheel for a skateboard or longboard will contain two elements. One is called as, let me open my annotation. So what you see here is called as the gum, and what you see in the center is called as the core. Okay, for you guys to see it much more clearer, let me change the annotation color. So what the two elements are, like the gum, bear with the arrow mark. So I'm using my mouse, and my Wacom tablet recently died after decades of use, so kindly bear with me. This is all from my mouse. So it has a core and a gum. Okay, so these are the two main elements of a wheel, and it has various parts. So we'll talk about the parts. It's already named here properly because, like, I cannot write as in without the Wacom tablet. It's hard with the mouse here. So as you see here, and this width of the wheel is called contact patch, and what you see on the edges of the width is called lip, and from the lip, when the part of the gum which takes you to the core has two elements, which is called as sidewalls, and the ones which are getting closer to the core is called inner lip, and then you have the core. Okay, so then the other factors that you need to consider is the diameter of the wheel, or the usually they talk only in diameter means, not in radius means. Okay, so two factors to consider is diameter, then the texture that you find in the contact patch, and those would come in the features. One of the features, the texture would come in one of the features, but one of the elements to consider other than the parts, it's the diameter here, which should cover in the size of the wheel. So these are the elements and parts of a longboard wheel. This goes with the skateboard wheels as well. So let me revise it once again for you guys. Hope you can rewind the video and watch it again, or like I'll just give a quick review of that parts again. Like what you're looking at here is two elements mainly. One is the gum and other one is the core. Next comes the contact patch, and the edge of the contact patch is called a lip or lip profile, and from the lip goes the sidewalls, and the center part is always called as core, and from the sidewalls to the core, the part of the gum which takes you from sidewalls to the core is called inner lip. And other than this, we consider two more things. One is the diameter of the wheel. The next one is the texture of the contact patch. Okay, so this is the main parts of the wheel, and let's take a look at each and every single parts in separate, and how they differ from each wheel, and how they are being classified and used for various longboards and skateboards. Okay, probably less of skateboard and more about the longboard here. Okay, so first one we are looking at a longboard wheel, and this one is for free ride longboard wheels, and what we are looking here is a smaller core, and the core usually is defined by the size of the bearing that you're going to use. We'll discuss this later in part of this video. And next is the gum. Okay, so what you are looking here is the rounded lip profile. Right now we are going to talk about the lip profiles, or the lip of the longboard wheels. Okay, so first thing goes is the lip, or the lip profile. So what you find here is a little bit rounded lip profile here, and then the side walls are like coning inside, and you have a serious curvature on the inner lip, which goes to the core of the longboard wheel. This is one type of lip profile. And the side walls, you have a rounded lip profile, coning side walls, and a curving inner lip. In the next wheel, this is also a free ride wheel of the longboard, and the design varies between each and every company. Okay, so and the profile of the lip will also vary depending upon the use and the type of company wheels you are going to buy. And most importantly, when you are reading at the brand names here, say like this one reads like orangutan, and the particular wheel is called Durion. Okay, so don't take this as my recommendations for you, but these are just examples and illustrations, images that I want to show to you, illustrative images that I want to show to you about each parts of the wheels. Okay, so here we are like, we change the color once again. So, and this is another type of wheel where you have the rounded lip profile, and then it steps down a little bit and goes flat here with the side walls, and the inner lip is extended into a bigger curvature. Okay, this is again another free ride wheel. Okay, here we go into another wheel, and this is like a skateboard wheel, which is obviously a smaller wheel. And what you can find here is a completely rounded side walls, lip profile, and everything. It's all combined. Inner lip, lip profile, side walls, everything combined as a rounded, bulged, beveled surface here. So this one is a very small wheel, and it's used for skateboard. The next one is like, it's again a free ride longboard wheel, but what the difference that you will see here is like you have a bigger core compared to the previous ones. The first one we saw here, this is also a free ride longboard wheel, but this one has a bigger core. I mean core in the sense like inner lip of the wheel is all made out of core itself. It's made from the core itself, and which is mostly hard plastic or something. So inner lip is made out of the core, and you have the side walls mostly cylindrical, and then you have the lip profile as rounded and a little bit sharp lip profile with the curved side walls. So your inner lip is much more curved, and it's combined with the core, and then you have the smaller size cylindrical side wall, or again you could call the side walls and inner lip sometimes, they are merged together. So this one is a little bit cylindrical here, and then it curves or takes a concave dip here and rounds up in the corners with the lip. So mostly the lip profile goes like this. It's sharp or round, and the variations and the designs depends upon the manufacturers that you will find in the market. And this is another example over here. I hope by this time you would be naming it whatever it is. So it has a rounded lip profile, and all the side walls and inner lip, everything is combined here to the rounded lip profile. And this one has the inner lip completely combined to the core. Okay, so this is again a skateboard wheel, and this one is like a little bit sharp but slightly rounded longboard lip profile. It has such a slightly sharp but smudged in the edges. It's kind of that kind of lip profile, and all the sidewalls and inner lip are coning into the center core. Okay, so these are the immediate and various lip profiles that you would notice in the market as such, and this is yet another example for you guys, wherein you will have a rounded lip profile and you have the sidewalls coning inside. It's a little bit flat, but it's not exactly flat, it's slightly slanted, and then you have a bigger inner lip taking you to the core of the wheel. Okay, so these are the various kinds of lip profiles that you will find. Mostly a lip is between the sidewall or the inner lip and the contact patch. The thing that you would find between the contact patch and the sidewalls is called the lip or the lip profile, and you will mostly find them in two to three shapes, either like it's sharp, beveled, or like it's rounded. Sharp, beveled, or rounded. Okay, so that's the lip profile, talking about the wheels and one of the parts of the lip wheels over here. Next, we are moving on to the detailed look on the sidewalls. Actually, these are varying, and these designs keep varying between each manufacturers over here. So what we are looking at here is the sidewalls and the inner lip. These are combined, and these are like in steps, multiple steps of curvature leading you towards the core of the wheel. Okay, so this is one kind, and this is also of the brand Orangutan. And the next one comes, it has as you can observe, let me change the color, this is of orange here. So what we are looking here is the sharp lip profile, but the sidewalls over here has some design patterns here. Like these design patterns kind of help with the type of longboard you choose and the type of ride and the purpose that you choose. Like, so these are designed for those things. And you have a different kind of core here, and it's a bigger core, and it also takes a standard bearing here, 608 or 5, that kind. And these holes that you see here in the core, these are kind of suspensions. We'll talk about this in the later part of this video, and these ones are probably designed for the electric skateboard. Those skateboard takes bigger wheels here. So if the diameter of the wheel is bigger, those are meant for much more long downhill and long rides, cruising boards and sort of such electric skateboards, kind of longboards and everything. So this is another type of sidewalls here, which has some patterns and cutouts. And now moving on from lip profile, sidewalls and inner lip and everything, now we are going to take a look at the important part of the a longboard wheel, which is called as the contact patch. We are going to look at the important part, which is called contact patch, in detail. Okay, so this one is called the contact patch, and this is the width of the contact patch. And the width, based on the width, you talk about the wheel size. Like say a wheel with wider width, it's kind of gives you more stability for you to ride, and it provides a lot of contact to the surface. So it's going to help you with more speeds and everything. So this is one of the contact patch over here, and this is wider, and it's soft. It's mostly soft and shiny. It also comes to the properties of the materials that is being used here. We are talking about only the contact patch and the appearance of the contact patch over here, though it is kind of combined with the material. Actually, we are not talking about the material names right now or the formulas involved right now. So what we are looking at here is the contact patch, which is flat, soft, shiny, and it kind of gives you more grip to the surface that you are riding in. Next comes a rounded longboard wheel, but this one has some texture, like the contact patch we are talking about is the texture, texture of the wheels here, which also the texture, the contact patch, whatever is kind of involved with the material, type of materials being used and the type of treatment that has been given to the longboard wheels material, or the gum part of that. So what you're looking here is another type of wheel and the contact patch over here. It's a rounded wheel, but what you see here is the contact patch with stone grounded texture. Like it's been roughly grounded after all the mold that is come out of the wheel is being molded with certain formulas of all the materials that is being used. When it is coming out of the mold freshly, they will grind it with a stone or some sort of sandpaper to get this texture. This is one kind of contact patch type that you will find in wheels. The next one that you are seeing here is threaded or patterned. This one is like the center design that you see here is called thread. Like it's mostly, if you find only these kind of grooves in the wheels, contact patch or the gum, of the wheel, the one which comes to this contact of the surface. If you find these kind of grooves or the threads, these type of wheels are called threaded wheels, and these are mostly used in downhill and off-road kind of purposes. And these patterns you will find most common in the other off-road wheels as well, or probably you might have noticed with car tires or motorcycle tires, or with other scooter tires, or even some mountain bikes, the bicycles. So these are called threaded and patterned wheels. Okay. So with the contact patch and type of material or the texture that is given to it, or the type of material that is being involved, has three things, which has a shiny surface, then you have the stone grounded surface, then you have the threaded or patterned surface. Okay. And now we have a special type of wheel, and this is also can be looked upon for the type of texture, the kind of contact patch that it has, and it has been designed in a different shape as well. So this is a special wheel that we are taking a look at, and this is an urban off-road on-road kind of wheel, and you cannot take a completely into a strong off-road surface like muddy or kind of more gravel, grainy kind of surface, but it's good for slight off-roads from the road, like the side roads that you will find sometimes, that kind of roads. And what we are learning from this design, these are Shark wheels, by the way, manufactured by the company called Shark. And to frankly say, people in Tamil Nadu or in ancient times, the women especially, and some few men's only on the left leg, they used to wear something called kanayari. Kanayari is something that would look like this, a circular ring, which is also called as kada when you wear it on your hands. So it looks in this shape, but this particular part, it will carve like this, to tighten. When you tighten them, it kind of carves like this. So this wheel pattern also falls like this, like in a S shape, but when you look in the sides, they might look like a square. Let me draw it properly. They might appear like a square, but actually they are round. They are still round wheels, though you will find the patterns in S type here, but they are still rounded wheels. So these kind of threads or patterns that you will find on this wheel helps with pushing the pebbles or the gravels that you find on the surface away when you're riding in. Like these designs, you could imagine as they roll, the S will be moving like this. So when you hit a pebble, these patterns will push the pebble away from the wheel and saves you from the wheel bite that you will have. This type of wheel is called Shark wheels, and you kind of find yes and rounded lip profile here, and the contact patch itself has kind of bumps like this. So because of this, the actual surface that is coming in contact with the ground is going to be the peaks of these patterns, like, so it's very less that is coming in contact with the ground, so it kind of glides faster. You can use these wheels on grasses, a little bit of off-road, and in regular surfaces as well. So that's one thing. Next special type of wheel is the all-terrain wheels. People call this as all-terrain wheels. And what's the big difference with these wheels is the contact patch itself appears like this. It's kind of carved here, rather being a flat surface that you kind of found in other wheels that you see here. These are flat, but these ones are actually carved. These are all-terrain wheels, and these are carved wheels. Carved with this has the contact patch, which is very carved, and you will find the threaded as well as patterns over here. You will find the cylindrical patterns, and in long run you will find this threads, these cylindrical, rectangular, or square, whatever patterns that you see here. It kind of forms a thread automatically. So this is called all-terrain wheels, and this is manufactured by one of the company called MBS, but mostly these type of wheels are called all-terrain wheels, and these are very big wheels, and these has a larger width with the contact patch. Okay, so this gives you more stability, and you can be able to ride these wheels on off-road and a lot of slushy, gravelly kind of mountains and everything. You can take it for downhill as well. So this is the different types of contact patch that you will find, or the textures that you will find, and different kinds of wheels as well altogether that you will find in the market right now. The next one is we're going to talk about the materials that is used in this wheels.